Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We're doing part one of all the Lollar Telecaster pickups in this parts caster. We'll talk about this guitar more later on in the video. For part one of the video, we have the 52 set, the A3 set, and the vintage set. And we also have the royalty neck paired with the bridge from the vintage set. All the amp settings are the same for each pickup within each style. I tried to make sure that the pickup heights were as close as possible to each other, although I did tweak them a little bit for kind of the sweet spot within each set. The reason I'm doing these three sets is they're kind of on the lower end of the output spectrum. The vintage is kind of the middle, so the vintage is going to be in both videos. But what's notable about these pickups is that the vintage are A5 magnets, the 52s are A2 magnets, and the A3s are obviously A3 magnets. So we have three different magnet types in these three sets. And I believe I think the royalty is actually a Alnico 5. Check the description for some clickable demo times, and I have my Patreon link in there. I'll be putting some extra files up there, like the direct input into my DAW, so that you can reamp the files yourself if you want to, as well as some soloed and in a mix versions of some of these examples. If you like this kind of thing, hit the like button, subscribe, and comment on the video. Let me know what you think of these examples. I am super excited to see which of these I actually like more. Lollar really offers a wide range in the Telecaster option. As usual, I'll talk more in the end about what I thought and what I think I'm going to keep in my guitar. Let's get into some tones. Okay, so that's half of the Telecaster pickups that Lollar offers. By the way, I'm not going to do the Charlie Christian neck or the blade bridge that goes with that neck. I don't have the route for that neck, and I don't want to route out the body in this guitar. But this is basically the traditional style Telecaster pickups minus the Royal T, which is more of a Strat style because it's the 42 gauge wire rather than the 43. All right, so my favorite in this group is the 52. It was close between the 52 and the A3, and I still have the A3 in my guitar to check out for the next week or two. So I'll see if my opinion changes on that. But yeah, definitely like the 52s more than the vintage. And the Royal neck, I really liked that a lot more than the vintage neck. And it really had a very different thing compared to the 52 and the A3. So if I kind of go down the line, if I compare the 52 neck with the A3 neck, I thought the A3 was just a little more stiff in response, which could be really cool. It really had a lot of bite to it. That the 52 is just a little bit more spongy, and I really just love that kind of soft attack on the 52, which is the A2 magnet. I really love A2 magnets in this thing. They just have a little bit softer attack. A3 has like a softer attack than A5, I think, but it's a little more stiff than A2. So yeah, there's something special about that A3. It has a little bit stronger mid-range, a little less bass than the 52, and it just gives it a very unique voice. And then going down the line with the necks, the vintage neck was definitely my least favorite. It seemed to lack definition compared with all three of the other ones, and there was something kind of like smoky and cool about it. But whenever I'd switch from the bridge to the neck just seemed kind of bigger, and it didn't seem to match the bridge as well as I would like. That being said, I really like the way the vintage broke up in some of the overdrive examples. I really felt like it had a strong distorted tone to it, whereas clean, I didn't like it as much. That Royal T is so crystal clean, and it's very strong. It's strong without being muddy, and it breaks up really well, and it has a unique voice among them. I wasn't too crazy about the middle position in the Royal with the vintage. It was kind of difficult to play, and that's one thing that I want to talk about a little bit more after I get into the bridges. But yeah, there's something about that Royal with the vintage that it didn't kind of sit right with a lot, especially the clean examples. And I have to love the clean tone on my Tele pickups. I'm such a sucker for clean tones. Okay, so the bridges, this is where it got a little bit surprising. So I loved that 52 bridge, and then the A3, there's something about that bridge that I actually like more than the 52. It just has so much more focus. And I didn't really do this in the tests, but if you play directly above the pickup, like I'm talking when you're on the bridge pickup, pick right above the pole pieces, it gets this really cool thump. I don't think it was doing that with the 52s, because I feel like the sweet spot with the 52, with that playing closer to the bridge kind of sound, was right in front of the actual pickup, right in front of the poles, not like towards the neck, not right on top of the poles. But there was a really kind of a sweet, cool spot on the A3 right on top. And it really changed a lot and was very usable along the length of the string. I find with a lot of Telecaster pickups, I have like two spots that I like to play, but this A3, you could really move your pick around a lot and get very, very different tones along the length of the string. And I found those two pickups much easier to play than the vintage bridge. So with the vintage bridge, this is where I was actually quite a bit surprised, because I didn't like playing on the vintage bridge or the neck. Just the response I was getting, I always felt like I was getting too much treble and it was a little bit brittle, and I couldn't get comfortable on those pickups, which is part of the reason that I really love Alnico too, is that I feel kind of at home and very comfortable playing those pickups because of the dynamic response you have out of them. Some people love A5. It's just kind of personal preference. So while I didn't like playing them so much and I was frustrated the whole time I was trying to get the tones out of them, when I listened back, I really love especially the distorted tones out of the vintage. And that's something I've really come to realize in doing a lot of these pickup comparisons, is that there's so much difference between playing the pickup and listening back. I've said this in every video, and every video I want to actually highlight this more, because every time I think I have an opinion about a pickup from playing it, I go back and listen, and my opinion's a little bit different. Sometimes a pickup that I love playing, I listen back and I'm like, man, it's not quite as cool as it was when I was playing it. And sometimes when there's a pickup that I didn't really like playing, I'm very surprised at how good it sounds. I think I would probably like A5 magnets more if I were playing in a band, because you have to kind of poke through the mix. In the studio, I can I can EQ things, and I can, play it a certain way and really think about it and get it to speak the way I want to. But I think A5 might be just one of those magic bullet kind of things for when you're playing with a band and you just really want to cut through the mix. And the guitar that I'm using in all these examples is a Partscaster with a Warmouth roasted maple neck, rosewood fingerboard. It's their vintage modern construction, so it's just the lighter one-way truss rod without the heavy duty and the side adjust thing. It just adjusts up at the headstock. I really love that construction on their necks. And the body, I believe it's an all parts body, but it was finished by a guy who goes on Reverb by Bloom Doom. So look him up on Reverb. It's a BLOOMDOOM. He has really reasonable prices. He does all his own nitro finishes, and I really just like nitro for the aesthetics. If it makes a tonal difference, I don't know, but he does a great job, really just like subtle checking, and it just makes me feel better that if I start dinging it up, I'm not going to freak out about it, because it's already a little bit dinged up. So if you didn't see the bridge comparisons I did, this is a Wilkinson top-loaded bridge. You can also do string through, but I did top-loaded here because I wanted to facilitate a much easier change in the bridge pickup. I can just take the whole bridge off very easily with the strings attached, switch out the bridge, and pop it back on. So I compared this bridge against itself, top load versus string through, and then I also compared it versus a Callahan string through bridge. All right, so yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for commenting and getting conversations going on the videos I've done in the last year or so. It's super fun to do these comparisons, but it is a lot of time, and so I really appreciate that the people are checking it out and enjoying it. So I guess in the next few weeks I'll do video 2 of the Lollar Telecaster pickups, and I'll see you then. Thanks, bye.